graph a logarithm question that looks like this. So from the question you are given a relation. So what a relation means that the connection between two or more things. So assuming you are having x and y, so it means that when you're having x, if you have 1, you will get an outcome of what, 2. So if you have 2, you have an outcome of what, 8, and then if you have 3, you have an outcome of what, 18, and so on and so forth. Now they say you should use that to draw a different graph, right? So meaning we are moving from where you are right now to a different town or a different nation or a different community. And so this is what we are giving. We are giving this. Now in some questions they can ask you to express this thing in a linear form. That is the key. So that is our aim here. So we are going to express this thing to look like something like y is equal to mx plus c. Don't worry with these variables thing, right? They all have a meaning. So that is why you need to watch the video to the end to know exactly how to convert them. So this is the secret here, right? Now this is what we are having. You want this thing to look like something that behave this way, right? So we call it a linear relation. That's the name of this. So the only car that can take us to that destination here is a logarithm, right? So that is the car that can help us to transport this guy to this town here. So let's look at how we can use this guy to do that. So the first step here is that you have to take a logarithm of the both side, right? So this is the car here. So we take a logarithm of this guy, take a logarithm of this guy. So that will give me log of y to be equal to log of b x exponent of m here. So now we got to know some of the definitions of logarithm, or some of the terms that correspond to logarithm. So those logarithm here, we know that when we are multiplying, you have to know this. When you are multiplying two things in logarithm, you can just split that into additions, right? So when you are multiplying logarithm, you can split that to addition. That is just a law, a very simple law. Says that if you have log of the first person multiplied by the second person, this can also be equal to the log of the first person plus the log of the second person. So this is just a law, right? This is just a law, a simple law, one of the laws in logarithm. So we are going to use this in your phone. So remember where we are going. Once we know where we are going, we should know exactly what we are doing. So this here, we are going to this land, right? We are going to this land. So we are moving from here to this town. Okay, now we are here. So what do you have to do here with the help of the definitions of the logarithm, that says that when you are multiplying two things, you can split that in by what, addition. So we are going to use that law to split these two guys. So this is the first person, this is the second person, right? This guy and this guy are one, right? This guy and this guy are one. So you are having log of b plus log of s exponent n, right? We just use that law to do that. Is that okay? So now let's move on to the next line. So here I can see another term here, right? You have another definition here that can help us out. If you are on top of this guy, you can come down, right? You can come down. If there's an exponent here, you can drop that exponent down here. Is that okay? Says also you're having y is equal to log of b base 10 plus or log of x exponent m. This m here, mb raised to the power here, this m here can come down, right? That is a law for another logarithm. Then just look up where we are going, right? We want everything to be on the straight line. We don't want anything to be on top, right? Being to raise to the power or something of that nature. We don't want that. So let's move on. We are just using the laws of a logarithm to express what we have been given into that form. Now we are having log of y to be equal to log of b plus m. Obviously that the m comes down, this m has to drop, so m here comes down. So m log of x of base 10. So boom, we are there, right? We are almost there, because after this point you can see that no number or nothing is being raised to a certain power here. Okay, so now we can just rearrange to look like something of this is where we are going. Is that okay? We are going to this town, so we can just rearrange this guy to look like something like this, being that you see from this guy you have mx before the c here. So mx, so these people are 2 here before just one person. So one person, 2 people here, and then another person here. So look at what we are having. You just need to rearrange this guy to look like that. So here we are having what, log of what, y base 10, right, is equal to, we are just bringing this guy first. Is that okay? We can do that with the help of this addition here. We can do that. right? So we can just solve. Have you seen that the friend of x here is m? So you have to have something like that. Is that okay? The friend of x here is what? M here, and this guy is alone, this guy is also alone. So you're having m log s base 10 plus log of b. Is that okay? Just look at the whole log to be one person, right? The whole log is just one person here. So the community or the nation or on the planet in which we are dealing with what? Logarithm. So everybody is log. So this is the first person, this is the second person, and a friend of that is m. That is exactly what we are looking for, right? So the guy attached to the x is what we call the gradient, right? That is what I'm having here. So the guy attached to the x, that is the gradient. Okay, now once we get to this point, we are free to go. Is that okay? Now let's move on and check how to draw the graph. So your first step in drawing a graph here is, so don't worry about this. Here we are going to use this information to answer the questions that follow. Now for you to draw the graph here, you have to since from the question you are giving x and y, just x and y. Now that we are moving to a different town, we are in the town of whereby everybody is log. So you need to convert that to what? That nation or that planet or people in that community. So we are having x, this is what we are having, right? We are having s1, 2, and so on and so forth. So you just need to convert this guy to suit where we are going, right? So log of x here, that means that this x here is what we are having from what the question. So log of 1, right? Log of 1 base 10. Right. If you don't know how to convert that, you can just use the calculator. You may use that, right, to convert this. So log of x base 10, meaning that where is the x coming from? This is what we are having initially. So moving from one place to the other, you need to convert the currency. So log of x here, meaning that log of what? X s base 10. So when x is equal to 1, right? S is equal to 1, meaning that log of what? 1 base 10. That should be equal to 0. Right, log of this will be equal to 0. Is that okay? So you may use calculators as I say earlier to convert. So the same we have to convert both variables of being given to. So here you are having a, so the next one will be what? log of here the x here, log of 2 from the question being given to log of 2 base 10 will give you 0.130, right? You need to convert that. I'm just converting that to decimal places. So the same applies to the y. So here you are having y to go log of 2, right? So log of 2 base 10. Is that okay? So this is what we are going to use to plot our graph. So for you to plot that graph, you need two things, right? You don't work alone in graph, so you need two things. Is you x, let's say x comma y. So maybe you and your partner, both of you has to work together in graphing. So we need these two guys to plot our graph. So after converting all the points being given to you in the question, right, now we are free to go to plot our graph. So let's see exactly how to plot these points on the graph. So the first point will be this guy and that guy. As I said earlier on, you cannot work alone in graphing. So this guy and this guy, you and your partner, you and your partner, you and your partner. So that's how we are going to plot the graph now. So let's look at that. This is my beautiful graph here. Maybe your graph sheet may be different from mine. That doesn't mean anything so far. What matters here is the understanding, right? So here, how do you plot that? We always plot the y, right? The y, so log y on this line here, right? On this straight line, so be a vertical line. So you can see that I have my log y here, right? And then the down here will be what? Your log s. Remember that we are moving from one town to the town. So where we are right now, we are in what? Logarithm community or nation. Okay. So log s will be on this line, and then our log y will be on this axis here. Is that okay? Now you may ask, how do you number? So the number here would depend on the values of the log s and the log y that we are having. So the secret here is that you just have to look at the smallest among the log s and then the largest number among the log y after calculating. So from our table after the calculating, you have the smallest one to be 0 here, and then the largest among the log s is 0.7. So that's how you have to make sure you do the number. You have to make sure that the smallest one is also part, as well as the largest one is also part. The same applies to the log y. So here I decided to go for on the log x axis, I decided to go for 0.1 to 2 centimeters. I see from here to this line. I decided to name that 0.1 by making sure that I have the largest among all. So I think the largest will be somewhere here. That is okay, right? So 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 up to 0.9. Have you seen that I'm having the smallest, which is the 0, and then the largest among the s, which is 0.7 all here, right? So that is the secret. You have to make sure that all the points are available. So the same applies to the y-axis here. So here we are having I'm having my y-axis to be 0.2 to 0.4, 0.6. The reason why I change in value that I have to make sure that the smallest one is available as well as the largest one is also available. So I decided to end at 2.0 here. Now let's see how to plot a point here. For you to plot a point here, as I said, is you and your partner. So the first point to plot is 0.00. So that's what we are having a 0 against 0.3. So you and your partner, right? So the x and the y, so log s and log y. So 0.00 to 0.0. So it's the same thing. You have to plot all the points on the graph. So let's see how to plot this thing. So now we are plotting 0.00 against 0.3. Maybe you can see that we don't have a 0.3 on this axis. So how to plot that is that you have to look for 0, which is the x here. You stand here, and then with that you look for the next one. The next one is the next partner, or maybe your partner is 0.3. So you stand here, then look for 0.3 on this line, right? So you just need to go up here and then look for that. Okay, so here is 0.00, which is the x, and then we are looking for 0.3. Here you see that you don't have a 0. For you to know the number of these small subdivisions on your graph, all that you need to do is that you just have to look at the intervals between the biggest numbers. So the big boy is over here, so from 0.2 to 0.4. So the difference between the two of them is 0.2, right? So from here to here you can see that the difference between this and this is 0.2. What I mean by difference is that this 0.6 minus 0.4 will give you more. So let's say, assuming just use one of them, that's 0.4 minus 0.2, that should be equal to 0.2 here. Is that okay? So the difference is 0.2. Now we are going to share that among all these small subdivisions here. So you just need to count the subdivisions in order. They are 10, right? They are 10 here. So divide that by 10. So when I divide here by 10, that will be equal to 0.02. Is that okay? Meaning that each subdivision here is just 0.02. Is that okay? So that's how you have to locate your point or your number here. So here I'll stand here, then look for 0.3, meaning that if I add this box here, that will be 0.02 plus 0.00. that is one box plus another 0.0 until you get to 0.3. right? So 0.3 will be somewhere here. So this is how you plot your points on your graph. Is that okay? So 0.00 against 0.03. So this is how you plot that. So that's why you have to plot all the points on the graph. So let's plot all these things, then come back and check the solution. So this is how simple you plot your point. This is my first point here. So this is my second point. That is 0.3 against that is 0.9 here, right? So the rest just follow that. So when you are done, all I have to do is just use your long rule, and then join all the points together. So this is how your graph should look like after plotting all the points together. So this is what we call a linear graph. Obviously this is a straight line, right? So that is how you have to convert that exponential equation being given to into this form of a linear graph using with the help of a logarithm. Now the next question says that we should use this our graph to find a gradient, right? If you are familiar with the formula or the definitions of a gradient, or who do you call a gradient, this is what we call a gradient. That is y is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Don't worry about these, are all just points. So this is a person that we call a gradient, but here we are not going to use this method. They say you should use your graph to determine that. So by the way, in the long run you just have to use this method, right? This method, but let's see how you can use the graph to use the raw definitions of the gradient. Now you know that the gradient is the guy that is attached to the x here, right? So this guy is the gradient, right? So this guy, this m here is the gradient. So but how do you find that using the graph? So what that you have to do is that you use your pencil to draw. Obviously this is the last point here, and then this is what my first point here. So what I have to do here is that you have to make sure that you draw a line. So let's say your line, look at the way I'm going to draw this line. The line here has to fall within the point, right? It has to fall within the point, or even at the edge of the, you don't need to go outside. I don't mean here, right? So that is one thing. What I have to do is draw a line here to meet, or to have a simple triangle, right? So that is the secret of it. You can end at anywhere. So maybe because I'm lazy here, I need something that will help me very simple. So I will decide to go for this guy, right? So I'll end somewhere here. You can end anywhere, right? You can end anywhere. Okay, now what I have to do is just have to, you see, look at the way I'm drawing my triangle here. So the triangle has to pass through this line here, a very nice line here to form what, a triangle. You can use a rule to do that, right? So look at my triangle. So the reason what I'm doing here is that to get what, the y2, y1, the x2, and what, and the x1, right? So this is a very simple triangle that I'm having here. So what I have to do, you drop this. That is the secret. The secret of doing this thing, this triangle, is to get your y2, y1, and the x2, and what, the x1. So you can choose to draw your triangle anyway, right? You can just come down. Someone may choose to end here, right? To end here, or some may choose to end here. What that matters here is that you have to make sure that you are falling within what, the end point. So that's the beginning of the point, and then the end of the point. Make sure that you are falling within. Okay, now let's trace to get our s2 and the x1 here. So here I'll come down here too. I'll also come down here. Okay, so perfect. Now so you can read out the reason of doing that. Here can be my x2. Of course the s2 is bigger than the s1, right? So here can be my s2. You know that this line is for the what, log s, right? So here can be the s2, here can be the s1, and then with this one to this line here, this guy here can be what, my y2, and then what, this guy here can be what, my y1. So you just need to read what, the numbers on the answer, then you plug in and then find your calculation. So after doing that, you can see that your logarithm, your gradient here should be 1.6 minus of 0.4 from the graph. That is what you are having, and then all over what, 0.65 minus or 0.06. So that's why I said that you may use the definitions of the gradient in the long run, but here you have to use the graph to determine that. So when you do this calculation perfectly, you should get something like 1.2 divided by 0.6. That will give you 2. So this 2 is the m, which is the gradient. Is that okay? That is the gradient. So the next one says that I should find the value of c. So c is here is the intercept. So look at something. The c here is the intercept that corresponds to what, the log of what, log of b. So this is what we are looking for, right? So we are looking for this guy here, log of b. Okay, now that we find this m here, m is 2. They say I should find this b here. Okay, so how do you find the b? With the help of the b, you should use, this is what you have to use, add a log y intercept. So the intercept here, don't worry about where the intercept, who and who intercept, where the x and the y intercept. So from the graph you can see that where the intercept. So this is what, log y here, right? Where the intercept, meaning that where they meet. So they meet at this point. Once they meet at this point, you can see that the value of the x here is 0, right? The value of x at this point is 0. Is that okay? So this is where they intersect. Why are we doing this? We want that guy. Look at something. They say we should find this. So we want this everybody here to go away so that we can easily find the b here. If y at log y intercept s is equal to 0, that is perfect. So you can see that log of b base 10 is equal to 0.2. If you are not getting something, just comment down below. Is that okay? Once again, if you enjoyed the video too, you may consider subscribing to our YouTube channel for more content like this. So you have log of b is equal to 0.3 from the graph. That is very simple, straightforward, meaning that where they intersect, look at something. If x is equal to 0 where they intersect, right? S is equal to 0 where they intersect, then it means that here this point here is what, our log y. So what I mean by that is that look at the relation here. So this is what we are having. Log of y is equal to m log s plus or log b base 0. So if this guy is equal to 0, everybody here will be somehow 0, right? So maybe here will be 0. So here we are going to have log of b exponent of. Is that okay? So log of b here. So log of b, with the help of the indices, we know about this guy here will be the base. So the base is 10 exponent whatever is here. So 10 exponent or 3 is equal to b. Your b should be equal to 2, right? So this is the base that we are having. So base here, the exponent and the answer. So base exponent of 0.3 and then the answer is equal to b. We are looking for b. Just when you point this to the calculator, you should have 1.9. Then by approximation, your b is equal to 2. Now that you find a b and a m, they say you should find the value of y when x is equal to 6. That's it from the question. So what I have to do here, look at the relation. They say you should find y, nothing more, nothing. They say you should find y. So this is what we are having. We know all these people, right? All you have to do is just plug them in and have your answer here. Is that okay? We know b, we know x. We are giving s to be equal to 6, and we know m is also equal to 2. Then b is also equal to 2. So all you have to do here is that you just need to plug them in. So after plugging in, you're having what 2 multiplied by 6 exponent 2. So the answer should be 72. So this is how simple and easy you solve this type of question on our logarithm. Thank you for watching.